Hey YouTubers, Sign543 in the house. So I don't really get to do a whole lot of, star interviews in my time, but today is a very special day because I am in San Diego, California, and as some of you might know, I have been following the blog of a very, very special friend. Her name is Lara, and she is a rescue dog that was rescued by Lily. And I will put a link to her blog right down here. I've been following her for the past year, and I just want you to hear her story for yourself. It's been a year since I've been able to meet her, and now I finally get to be here.
Come with me, I'll help you see all the joy you brought my life. Friend of mine, one you can find once in a lifetime.
A year ago this month, somebody that I had interviewed for a news story about fostering for the shelter approached me about becoming a foster myself after my German Shepherd mix died. And initially I told her I was still grieving and I wasn't into getting another dog. And the following morning I woke up and I thought, well, while I'm feeling sorry for myself, there are dogs 5 miles away from here at the Carlsbad shelter being euthanized who are highly adoptable, sweet family dogs. So I got off my pity pot and called her up and said, count me in. And I went up there to meet her to adopt, or actually to foster a dog that she had in mind. And when I squatted to see him, I heard this very heavy breathing in the kennel next to his. And I looked over and I thought it was a Shar-Pei. There was all these folds going over her face and it was unmarked. There was no name, nothing. And so I called a shelter worker and asked them what the story was. And they said she had just been taken out of observation, that she was a backyard breeder who had just given birth and was picked up as a stray in Valley Center. They took her out and her breast rim was touching the ground. She was just pathetic. And what was even worse was that she was a young dog who was bred over and over again. That's what they called her, a backyard breeder.
You should know, let me show all the things you mean to me.
When Lara arrived, she had an interest in my other dog Ollie's toys. And she'd always, and I think it's part of being a mom, she was so lonely for her puppies that she would walk around with a stuffed animal all the time. And before I knew it, she had emptied all of these out, and over the next year or two, friends would start donating more to her. I said, well, can't you put her on any low-calorie food? And they said, we don't have any. They can't accommodate special diets like that. So I said, well, I'll foster the dog that you had in mind, which was a German Shepherd mix, but I also want to bring this little girl home and do what I can to start getting her healthy. I was very impressed with a veterinarian I had interviewed a couple months prior to that, who was really into holistic veterinary care, and he had a Zen garden for dogs in his office, and he did acupuncture. And he was a weight loss specialist, Dr. Carmine Visoni, at the Acacia Animal Health Center in Escondido. And I called him up and I said, I'm fostering this dog, and if you get her healthy and take control of her weight loss, I'll create a blog and get you lots of publicity for your hard work and your big heart. Well, when I first got her, the day after I got her, I walked her around the block and she collapsed halfway around
Wow.
a residential block. And Joey and I, this friend of mine, signed 543's son, Joey Pearson, he and I would have to lift her, two of us to lift her to put him into my van and then to take her out of. So after we took her to the doctor and he put her on a diet and then thyroid medication, she slowly, it was slow, but then, and in fact, she lost like 10 pounds, 10 or 15 pounds, and then she gained a couple pounds, and that was very discouraging. But, you know, that's a reminder to the rest of us. Whenever we diet, we have, you know, progress, and then we have our setbacks. She was just an example of what happens to us humans, is that when she started losing weight, she had more energy, she was happier, she was more athletic and playful, and it's no different in dogs than it is in humans. She lost a third of her weight in 6 months. She got acupuncture from Dr. Bassoni, and then she got something called veterinary orthopedic manipulation, which is like dog chiropractic, from Dr. John Harrison. And her carriage, from carrying all that weight, her spine was, you know, sway back. And so Dr. Harrison corrected her alignment, and that made her feel better, and it made her want to move more and move faster. And today she's an athlete. One of the people who wanted to help her was Mike Doherty, who's an AKC judge. He is one of the judges for the Westminster Dog Show, and he has a very posh pet resort, and he and his wife Michelle offered to give her free beauty makeovers. When he saw her a couple days before Christmas, after she had lost the weight, he said to me, "You saved her life, Lillian."
Wow.
And I said, "Oh, you're kidding. You know, that's a little bit of an exaggeration."
No, but he wasn't exaggerating.
No, he said, "No, I'm not." He said she would have died in the condition she was in.
Wow. Wow.
So that was, and look at her now, she's like a puppy.
She is.
Please consider going to your local animal shelter. They're overflowing with healthy, highly adoptable dogs who are being put to sleep right now as I'm talking. And I know that because I'm a reporter. This morning I interviewed a man who had 6 dogs in his house, and he said it's heartbreaking at the shelter. So please do that. If you have an obese dog or an overweight dog, it's no different than humans. They're not going to live as long as they would if they were thin, and they're going to have a happier life. You know, from the time she arrived in this house, as lousy as she felt, she was wagging her tail because she was so grateful. It was written all over her face. And she tried to climb my staircase over there. The other dog that I got raced right up there. She looked up, she could only make it one step, and she turned around and sat down. And despite how bad she felt, she was so happy to be loved, and that is the gratification more than anything in getting a shelter dog.
All right, guys, so here I am. Finally, after all this time, I'm here with Lara. I have to admit, I'm a little starstruck. I haven't yet asked her for a autograph. I may get to get that soon. I don't know how she may react. I've met some pretty big celebrities in my time here in Hollywood and San Diego. The Biggest Loser Canine, is the biggest star yet.